Hello everybody and welcome to my video, Getting Tidier. I hope you're all well. So the first few photos show what I'm going to be doing in today's video. So you'll see me spend some time tidying up the house, sorting things through, cleaning before we had family members round. And also I do some more work on that cupboard in the loft room. Because I've started it and I must finish it. I do think that that's connected to a lot of the problems we have related to storage. So if I can create a lot more space in there, I think things are going to be a lot easier. So since I did my last video on Friday, I missed a couple last week and just really things are just so busy. I'm struggling sort of to keep up with everything, if I'm completely honest. But Saturday we got up quite late and watched a little bit of television, or my daughter watched a little bit of television, sort of just had a relaxed morning. And then I did work around the house while my daughter was doing her homework. I did a bit of work and then I sat with her and then I did some tidying in the room that she was in, etc. to support her. And my husband did some work in the kitchen, and he also got some bits for food in for when people came round. We had family members arrived about 5 o'clock. That was a nice evening. Everything went fine. Was funny though, because I had originally said that people were invited to join us for chips, and I had completely forgotten that. So me and my husband were like, oh, what should we do for dinner? Oh, why don't we do chili? So that's like, was easy, straightforward, etc. So we did a big container of chili again. And then everyone said that the meal was nice and we had cake. People left at about 10 o'clock in the evening. And then as they were driving out of the drive, my father-in-law called to me and I said yes. And he said, what happened to the chips? And I was like, I said to my husband, oh, I completely forgot. Invited people round for chips and then gave them something else. But I invited them more than a month ago. So, you know, I would have needed to have gone back through the messages to have remembered that. But that had completely escaped my mind. So my daughter went to bed quite late. Well, late to what she normally goes to bed on Saturday. So we didn't set an alarm clock on Sunday. So we thought, well, if we wake up at a good time, we'll go to church. If not, we'll watch it on television. But we all woke up at about 8:30. So we got out of the house really quickly and managed to make the morning first service. And they talked about Thanksgiving. And our senior pastor is married to a lady who's American. The children have American passports as well, and talked about Thanksgiving. So for those of you that celebrate, I'm guessing it seems to be across the whole of America, in all states. I hope you have a lovely week of celebrations and really enjoy Thursday. So it's quite interesting learning a little bit about the history, which I didn't know anything about until today. Really does look like a mountain of washing, doesn't it, on the video? Given that I've got the washing machine is full of a load and I've got that massive great pile, but I decided that I needed to get as much done as possible before the coming week. And then my husband put all the quilts on the bed covers before bed, but unfortunately the one that we've got on our bed, that smells, that the quilt cover is okay, but two of the pillowcases have that awful damp smell, which is a bit of a shame. So I don't think it's gonna be on more than a couple of days, and I'll take it off and put a different one on. My husband always does the quilts because it's so much easier when you're tall, isn't it? When you're quite short, it's quite difficult to put a new quilt cover on, I find. So I convinced my husband that it's such a quick and easy skill when you're tall, so he does a great job with that. So yeah, I had a lot of washing to do, and I know some of you will be horrified, but even if I had it in baskets, then I wouldn't be able to fit the baskets there, would I? Because there's so much there to wash. The week ahead of me is busy. I've got one meeting Monday, because you know I always have Mondays off. So I've got one meeting first thing after the school run. So I'll just do that quick meeting and then I'll go to the supermarket. So I'm going to go to the supermarket and then I'm going to come back home, and I'm hoping it's going to be mild, and then I'll be able to do some more work in the garden, which will involve planting some bulbs and putting my little plants out that I bought, which I still haven't had a chance to do. I did a little bit today in the garden. So when we came back from church, we had lunch, and then I sat with my daughter and did some more homework. And once she'd nearly finished it all, she then wanted to spend some time with my husband, Daddy, to make some Lego. So I got my husband a Christmas Lego set as part of the Christmas village, which he really likes, and they like making that together. So she did a bit of that, and then I went out in the garden and was doing some more cutting back because it was so mild today. It was really mild. So I was cutting right back, and I was also sawing down part of a buddleia, which is going a bit crazy. And my dad mentioned to me like how they're so strong that could end up like bringing my wall up because it's so close to my wall. So I was cutting some of that down. It's such a massive pile though, far too much for my brown, bin, my garden bin. So I'll have to do that in stages, I think. So my daughter practiced the viola, and then I came in and my husband had done dinner, which is really nice. I bought some duck, and the other week, me and my husband had duck pancakes, and I'd got this set which was reduced, and my daughter looked at it like, oh, I wish I could have some. But the duck was not suitable for her because of the herbs they'd coated it in, and she obviously couldn't have the wraps. So I bought some duck breast from Tesco, and my husband cooked it all up. How he coated it with like ginger and garlic and herbs, and then he got some wraps which are suitable for my daughter, then chopped up spring onion and cucumber, and we all ate that. Obviously we had different wraps, but it was delicious. It was really, really nice. I'll definitely have that again. I was trying to work out, I think it does work out cheaper than the set, just because there was more ingredients. So what I mean is, I think the set was £8, the duck breast was £6, and obviously you've got to buy the extra things, but there was a lot more meat there. So normally the set will only suitable for 2 people, whereas the amount of duck I bought was for 3 people. It's really, really good. So you'll see me in the hall just cleaning. I wanted to clean that corner. So I was also getting ready for the theatre to be collected. Oh dear, have I had fuss with that theatre. Can you believe it? So I sold it, and I put 2 pictures of the theatre on the selling site, and then the third picture, I added a picture of what it looks like in the catalogue when it's originally for sale. So it's got like items for a shop there. And even though I thought the post was really clear, the lady thought that all the extra things came with the theatre. Now, if I'm honest, I think she did that purposely. I wonder, if some of these people do this sort of thing purposely. But I messaged her and said I'm really very sorry, because her husband had come to collect it and she'd paid for it a couple of weeks ago, and so I'd hung on to it for her, clogging up my hallway. But I said, I'm really sorry for the confusion. I'll give you some money back if you'd like that. I felt like the post was quite clear. So she said, no, it's not clear. And yes, she wanted £20 back. So I just asked for her account details, and I gave her the £20 back. And then I said, I've given you the refund. Sorry for the misunderstanding. I hope your daughter likes it. And that wasn't enough for her just to say, oh, thank you for sorting things out, or thank you for the refund. She just replied, I got the refund. In future, make your posts clearer, and less, what did she put? Something like, and less trying to trick people or something like that. That was like a really mean reply. And I just replied saying, this whole situation has upset me, so I'm going to leave the message now. I hope your daughter likes it, and also double check when you post, so it's not just like my post being unclear. I'd accepted that could have been, you know, she was confused by it. I didn't, you know, doubt her word. But also, you don't assume things, do you? I looked on her page and she was selling a fish vase, and inside the fish vase were all these flowers. Well, I wouldn't assume that the vase was coming with the flowers. I'd assume that it was just the vase. And otherwise, you need to check, don't you? Anyway, hopefully I'll forget that. I'm gonna try and forget all that very soon. And the money's for my daughter, so I felt a bit sad that she's now getting less in her savings account, but it's just one of these things, those things. The fact of it is, I've got rid of it, haven't I? Got rid of it from the bedroom, the playroom, and I've got rid of it now for my hall, so I'm pleased about that. Whenever I look at these videos, I'm always like horrified when I see the back of my hair. That always makes me think of that Harry Potter clip where Hermione says, "Does the back of my hair really look like that?" So then next up is Tuesday, and on Tuesday I'm delivering a workshop, and I've got a couple of meetings in the afternoon. I've got meetings all day on Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, and then we've got other family celebration birthdays. So we've got a party coming up, and we've got a celebration of someone's birthday. We're going to go and see them so we can see them open their presents. And then what I've done, which I know you'll all be very pleased about, over the next couple of weeks, I've got 2 days which I've completely cleared. I'm not having any meetings, so I can book in and do some Christmas shopping and just to enjoy the seasonal time. Because every single year, about this sort of time, I always think, oh, that creeps up on me. Christmas creeps up on me. Christmas creeps up on me. I don't do anything. I just think about Christmas creeping up on me. And actually, if I took action and did stuff, then I wouldn't have that feeling of Christmas creeping up. So that's partly why I've been doing my regular updates, top tips for Christmas. And that has been helping me get organised. So today's top tip for Christmas, given that it's the 24th as I record this and tomorrow's the 25th, is for those of you that have Christmas decorations, is this early part of the week that you need to get your Christmas decorations out. You need to get them all out, have a look through them, see what you can get rid of, give to the charity shop, see what you can put in the bin, and get ready to put all your decorations up early. That will then mean that you'll be able to enjoy other parts of the season. Now, I do know some of you don't put Christmas decorations up. Some of you don't have a Christmas tree, etc., etc. But even if you have a few bits, it's nice to get them up early. And then you can then focus on other things that you might want to do over Christmas. Even if you don't get many presents and you don't write many cards, that might be that you want to watch a particular programme on television or a particular film. Go through the TV guide and have a little look at other things that you might want to watch that are particularly Christmassy, something you might not have watched recently. Have a look on, listen to check what programmes are on the radio, for example. Or if you do travel about, have a look to see what concerts might be coming up, what church services might be having some Christmas band music, that sort of thing. So you can book in other things because you've got stuff done early. That's what I'm trying to do. I've also made a point of booking in all the things from school, because what I've done a couple of years is I've not put them in my diary, and then again things creep up and then I realise, oh goodness, I need to finish early on whatever day from work because there's a school concert or there's a concert in the church. So again, I've put everything in my diary in advance, so hopefully there'll be less chance of me missing things. So you can see I really am getting quite a lot done in this video, and you'll also see where there's some work that I'm doing beforehand, but then you also see me tidy things up. So like with the dining room, I put the table back away and cleared it, and my husband helped clear it as well, which was nice. So sometimes when people come round, things end up being left and sat out for ages. One thing I just want to decide what to do, and I just really can't yet decide, is you see on the back of the chair I've still got those 2 white rugs. And I've had those white rugs, I would say, for about 15 years. And they are fantastic. They're not suitable really to be put on a wooden floor, suitable to put on a carpet, but they're so good because you can just wash them. Just put them in your washing machine and just wash them, dry them and put them out again. And each time they come up really, really well. So I don't really want to get rid of them. But the problem is, where should I put them? My daughter doesn't want them in her room anymore, so I'm not going to put them back in there because I also think they are dust catchers. Just more something else to catch dust. But where can I put them? Maybe when I clear out the loft room, my bedroom, I could have one on the side of the bed, possibly. But I've not yet decided. So at the moment they're sitting in the dining room and I know they don't belong there. So you can just see in this video where I'm clearing up and sorting out. You can see my daughter sitting on the edge there of the table and she's doing her biology homework. So while I was sort of in and out of the room, I think that just helps her to work and focus. I know at this sort of age, some children are up in their bedrooms doing their homework, and that was exactly what my sister did. She did all her homework sat on the bed, and that was obviously before the times of tablets and computers. Whereas for me, that would be like my worst thought, going to sit up in my bedroom by myself to do homework. I'd absolutely hated that. I sat at the dining room table, where I knew my mum would have usually been in the kitchen and she would have been in and out talking to me about the work. I just guess it depends what sort of person you are, doesn't it? It really does. I'm quite a sociable sort of person, so for me, I needed that, and I guess my daughter is similar in many ways. So I'm going to go through a couple of your comments now. So the first comment is from Joanne, 3450, and Joanne says, "Hi Emma, I love your channel. It's wonderful to watch your progress." And then Joanne's given some really good advice, which is really helpful for me, and I think it's going to be helpful for a number of you as well that are working on similar challenges as what I have. So she says, "Something that really worked for me was defining every space. Books on bookshelves. If you have too many books on the bookshelves, get rid of books. Clothing and upstairs drawers only. If you have too many clothes to fit in the drawers, get rid of clothes. You can fit a lot more clothing in a drawer if you fold it and stack it on the end like a file folder. If you crumple it or leave it in a jumble and force it in the drawer, it will take up more space. No need to do a total clear out. Just as you put things back, always fold them and put them to the side in the drawer. Then as you wear things, your drawer will become folded." I love that. I just started doing this to my drawers and I'm 66. I love it and will never go back. Thank you very much for that post. Next comment was from a new subscriber, Sherry Allen, 4537, and she says, "Hi Emma, a new subscriber here. I just found your channel and love the topic. I can use decluttering motivation in my life. All the best to you from Massachusetts." So Sherry's also told us where she's from. That's nice. Barbara Palmore says, "Emma, your plan for utility room is perfect. Maybe your husband needs a good think about it." Good point. Mel, so Melissa Cross from Tasmania, says, "Hi Emma, I'm adding a double drawer dishwasher to my new home. Each drawer takes a 14-piece setting and can be used independently or together. You could buy a single drawer unit, which would allow you to have a cupboard built under the dishwasher if you installed it where your washer currently is. I also wondered if there's space for your front loader washing machine in your remodelled mudroom. You could stack a dryer on top." Oh, I didn't think about that. The problem is my husband says I won't be able to use the door. He says there's not enough space, and if you open up the big wooden door that you see that I've got in my kitchen, you've probably seen that from different angles. You probably see that when I did the pantry video. When you open that door, he says there won't be enough space to squeeze through. I said, but I'm the only one that uses the toilet and I'm the only one that uses the washing machine. But he said, well, if we needed to get out of there, we can't get through. We'd have to squeeze through. But that's a good idea. If the dryer could go on top, that'd be a proper little utility room. My new home will have a European laundry in the hallway, and I have a pigeon pair front loader washer and dryer that are designed for the dryer to be stacked on top of the washer. Keep up the great work. Cheers, Mel from Tasmania. Thanks for that post. So next comment is from Elizabeth Paul. So Elizabeth says, you are getting better and better at letting things go. Thank you, Elizabeth. I know you don't like discussing money, but I'm curious how much money you can make from selling the old Lego sets. Seems like they are taking a lot of space in your home that you need for useful things like luggage storage. And the amount of time it is going to take you and your family to put them together again before you sell them seems like a lot of time to invest so you can sell them. I'm sure it'll be a fun family activity, so the time is not wasted. I do enjoy watching you declutter the upstairs rooms. And I think that's partly because, although there is still more to be done downstairs, the upstairs has got a lot more stuff than downstairs. Because I've spent a lot of time over the course of the last year doing specific areas, haven't I? Like the pantry, the cupboard in the dining room, the cupboards in the lounge, sort of little pockets areas I've really focused on. Whereas it's basically the whole of my upstairs needs to be decluttered. So look out, 2025, I'm coming. In terms of the Lego sets, you are right. It is going to take me quite some time to sort out. And my mum said, why don't I just sell the whole tub? Now, in terms of time, yes, that would be much quicker and easier to do that. But part of the reason is a life lesson from my daughter. My daughter is very lucky in that she does the hobbies that she wants to do. She goes on nice holidays. She kind of gets a lot of the things that she wants for birthdays and Christmases. We try not to kind of buy things throughout the whole year as some people do. She is lucky, and it's a bit difficult for me to sort of explain my thought process with that. But it's similar. Do you remember me telling you the story of when we saved up as a family to go on a gondola trip? Now, of course, we could have just gone on holiday and just paid for the gondola trip, not said anything about it, not thought anything about it. But I wanted her to be aware that the gondola trip is expensive. And in order to have something like that, you need to work really hard and you need to save really hard, and then you'll have enough money. So, both me and my husband have worked hard at work, done years of education. And I think I want her to see that you have to work hard for things. So she has got her savings account, and all this Lego is obviously hers that she's had for birthdays and Christmases. And as long as she's fully engaged, and I'm not going to do all the work for her, but I want her to see that, we can pack up the Lego sets, we can advertise them, she can sell them, and the money that she'll get will then go into her savings account. Someone did say to me, oh, why don't you just give her the money for give her the money for the Lego, and then give all the money and then give all the Lego to charity. Pay her to get rid of the toys type thing. I feel like it can teach a valuable lesson, understanding how much someone's bought a Lego set for £20 and actually she spent 2 hours making that set. I'm hoping that'll make her think. She spent all that time for £20, but £20 and £20 and £20, that all adds up. And it's just, for me, it's about understanding the value of the things that we have, how careful we are in spending money to make sure that we're buying things that we actually need and we actually want. And then when we do get rid of them, that we get rid of the things in the right way. So I'm not sure whether I have kind of explained myself very well, but that's kind of my thought process behind that. Karen says, I can't wait. I love your videos. Andrea says, good job. And Andrea has updated me on her daughter's missionary trip to the United Kingdom and to France. It sounds an absolutely wonderful trip. What an opportunity for your daughter to be able to do that. I hope for similar things for my daughter to be able to kind of take part in an activity like that. So Andrea's daughter came to London. She visited various amazing sites in London, saw Buckingham Palace and Big Ben, the Elizabethan Tower, should we say. And then she also got to visit France. And she went to a town which I've visited many times, which is beautiful, lovely architecture. So I'm really pleased that her daughter had that opportunity. Wonderful. And it's lovely, Andrea, how you and your husband and wider family and church support your daughter in that. You should be very proud. Cynthia's commented on another of my posts, and she's I wanted to raise this particular post because Cynthia's answered my question about Thanksgiving. So I asked what people would be having for Thanksgiving. Now, this is only a few days away, so this Thanksgiving feast is going to include roast turkey, gravy, stuffing, mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes, garlic, green beans, cranberry and apple relish, rolls, pumpkin pie, chocolate silk pie and whipped topping. Goodness me, it sounds like a feast and a half. I'm interested, do you in America and elsewhere have Jerusalem artichokes with your roast dinners? I know that might sound like a bit of a strange one, but I love Jerusalem artichokes. I grow them in the garden and I've not had a very good season this year at all. They're very, very small, so I'm not going to eat many. I'm just going to leave them, and hopefully they'll grow and have a much better crop next year. That sounds like a really lovely meal, that does. And then I asked a question about silk pie, because I've never heard of silk pie. So I said, do you have roast turkey as well on Christmas Day? And I also asked about silk pie, which I've never heard of. So that must be a sort of American, specifically American dessert. I don't know. Perhaps someone can tell me about that. And then also another comment from Stacey, who's in Virginia. And Stacey says, Sunday is a day for relaxation and reflection. Sunday is also a day to reflect on all your blessings and not your problems. Thanks for sharing all your super sweet videos. I like that. Sunday is a day to reflect on your blessings and not your problems. And how interesting was that the whole of the church service yesterday was about being grateful and being thankful for all the things. So, you know, I told you I can't get tickets for the Christmas performance. The pastor said we all need to, those of us that didn't get tickets, we all need to be very grateful for the fact that we didn't get tickets, because there'll be someone else sitting in our seat that might need to be there more than us. And it did make me think, although it was a joke, it did make me think. Jane Mercer says, hi Emma, another great video. I'm so glad you intervened on behalf of your young trainee. We all need an advocate sometimes, and I'm sure she will remember that. You are a lovely lady. I hope you've had a better week this week. Oh, that's a lovely post. Thank you, Jane. Yeah, I hope so. She's that particular learner has now passed through everything she needs to, and getting ready to hope that she does really well at the last part of it. It's been a rocky way for her. It really has. And you know, that sort of situation, I can't be a person that takes a back seat in things. Obviously, sometimes that can cause more work and more issues for me, but I cannot be that person who observes and sees somebody struggling or suffering or not being treated fairly. I have to say something. And actually, I find it quite frustrating when people do stay quiet. So I did put myself out, and I was waiting for my manager to say, oh, Emma, I think you've done as much as you can now. But she didn't. So I persisted and persisted, and it's turned out in the right way. And I really believed it would. So I'm glad about that. Sophia Rose, that's a lovely name. Is that your middle name, or is that a double first name? Sophia Rose. Sophia Rose says, already fan of your channel. You really do work hard. Thank you, Sophia. Cami says, I thought there was something wrong with my video because you were gone for so long out of frame, but then I realised if it was paused, I wouldn't hear your voice either. There was one video, though, I made a mistake, Cami. I had come out of the room to help with homework, and I'd forgot to stop videoing. Usually I cut it, and I forgot. So you might have seen that as well. Nana Tracy says, here's hoping your next week is a lot less stressful. I hate it when I have those weeks. I'm all for a calm way of living where I can. Too much going on and I get so overwhelmed. Yeah, it's not good to kind of feel like you're here, there and everywhere. And it did feel like there were a lot of doors closing that particular week. But you know what they say? One door closes and another opens. Wee Jen says, Emma, 8 years ago, I had months of poor health with my heart. I ended up with a pacemaker. I was only 49 at the time. Then I gave my family a fright with an asthma attack, and it was touch and go. So now I feel life is just too short, and I realised how much my family need me around. You make me tired just listening to what you get up to. Watching your videos sped up is actually the way you live. Oh, thank you for your comment. And that must have been an extremely difficult time. It's like very traumatic experience going through that. A close friend of mine had a heart attack at a very young age, and it is, extremely hard for the person, not just during the time that it happened, but also in times of reflection, like a year round. It is obviously a very traumatic experience. And then to also have an asthma attack, I should think your whole family want to wrap you up with cotton wool. But you're right, sometimes, all of us can get caught up in being busy with this, that and the other, and actually none of those things really matter. What really matters is health. Health of you and health of your family. Karen Davis, well, you've certainly been busy. Wow, I hope you get some calm in the coming weeks. There are so many times in life that responsibilities and chores just pile on, one on top of the other, and it can feel like untangling a big clump of knots just to accomplish anything. Or you start to do something that seems straightforward enough, but then you have to do a bunch of other stuff before you can even start to work on it. That was that week. That was my week. It really was. Every single thing, there was a problem with it. Karen, you completely got me. So frustrating. I know for me, lots of times, if the responsible people would just give me all the information and details I needed in the first place, it wouldn't be such a pain in the neck. Anyway, good luck and hang in there. I do also believe that some things happen for a reason. So sometimes when it feels like you've been stopped from doing something or there's some sort of problem, sometimes I think there's a good reason for that. Now, someone fairly recently commented on my videos and said about how you don't speed your videos up anymore. And I don't like seeing them completely slow time. I like to see them sped up. Believe me, all my videos are sped up. So a lot of the videos today is 5 times speed. I don't move this quick in real life. Some of my videos are 2.5 speed, but I don't post anything less than 2.5 speed unless it's my little clip at the beginning. Sometimes where I just literally do it and you can kind of hear what I'm doing in the kitchen. But for my bulk of my videos, all of it is sped up. I think it would be quite dull just to watch me do this stuff in kind of, normal time. And also I'd have to talk for so long, wouldn't I? You'd all get very fed up after about 20 minutes. So I always have my videos sped up. So I know sometimes people think, wow, you've managed to do quite a lot. Well, like a lot of this video today is one day, but there's a bit right at the very end, which is a little bit of the day after. So sometimes they're spread over a couple of days, what you see, not all in one video. But if you look at the whole length of video and think that I've had to edit it and cut it and change it, and then times it by 5 or times it by 2.5, it's quite a lot of work that I'm managing to get done, which is great. So the last part of the video, you'll see me with my Christmas decorations and trying to sort that out. So my top tip is to get all your Christmas cards written before December. That's what I'm going to try to do. But what I'm doing here today is I'm trying to find my daughter's cloth advent calendar. So her cloth advent calendar is one that my sister got for her, because at that point they never did any freeform advent calendars and she couldn't have a normal advent calendar. So my sister got all of that done and filled it all up the very first year. Every year it comes out, and every year I think, oh, I'm not very organised, I've only done 6 days or something. I told you about this the other day. But this year, I've got loads of things ready. So I want to get it out. Now I need to find it and start filling it up. She's already starting to get excited for Christmas, which is nice. So at this part of the video, you can see that I've got a lot out of the cupboards. I'm moving it backwards and forwards to be piled up to then go downstairs. And the funny thing is, I spotted a few things that I bought last year and the year before. Like I got some massive great glass baubles for reduced from £8 to £1. And I literally just bought them because they were only £1. But I've got nowhere to put them. I think, why on earth did I buy them? Just because they were a bargain. So I do feel like, compared to like from last year, I had started my channel. Obviously, I wasn't doing things to the level that I am now. But how my mindset has changed. Because I bought those baubles, brought them into my house, put them in the cupboards, and now I'm looking at them and thinking, oh, that'll make a nice thing to give to the charity shop. I also found some Christmas presents for people that I bought last year, ready to give them this year. Another one of my space saver bags, which has deflated again. I don't know what I'm doing with this. They are the proper space saver bags and they're deflating. If anyone has got any thoughts and ideas about space saver bags that work, or maybe a company would like to give me some to try out on my channel, that'd be good. Then I'd be very keen to have a go, because I spend all this time putting things in the bags, take all the air out, and then when I go to get them out, they're full of air again. It's quite frustrating. So I don't quite know what I'm doing with them, because other people seem to have success with them, but I obviously don't. So if you are still here, thank you very much for following me. Thank you very much for your support, for your comments, for your likes. Very much appreciate them all. If you're new here, please do subscribe and let us know where you're from, so we know where in the world you're watching from. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye!